Hello, one and all, and this is Steven, all the way from the Malakuri Hills up here in the northern part of the Serengeti, and we warmly welcome you again on our episode 6 of Guided Walk. This is Track and Signs. So let's go out there, let's see what kind of tracks or what kind of signs you can actually point it out to your clients when you're doing game drives or when you're doing kind of guided walks. So in track and signs, we look at different signs and different tracks in the bush that can actually tell us what kind of animal has been there in a certain time back before we arrived. This is one of the signs in the bush, a tree that has been fallen down and quite debarked and destroyed like this. This is the presence of elephants. Elephants have been here quite recently, and they have done this to this tree. They will sometimes fall down the trees to eat the canopy of the trees to get all these sort of green leaves from the trees, but also debark them. As you can see, it has quite been debarked almost everywhere. So in a tree, they have vascular bundles that consist of the xylem and phloem. These are like interconnectrical tubes that transport nutrients from the roots to the leaves and back and forth. So elephants, they actually know that. And they're being separated by a certain layer. This layer is called the cambium layer. Cambium layer holds most of the nutrients, okay? So elephants, they will come after eating or whatever they are trying to eat from the tree, they'll try debark it by using their tusks, okay? They debark the tree and get to eat the barks of the tree, which is quite interesting. They get to the inner side, so the cambium layer is not the outside. The cambium layer is the inside layer of that bark, and they'll try take it out. If sometimes the bark is not very hard, then they can also try eat the outside bark, which sometimes we call it an elephant chewing gum. All right, which is quite interesting. They eat lots of grasses, they get nutrients from there, but they're very clever that they need more nutrients, and they come to the tree and strip off the bark of the tree and they'll start eating it. To some point, of course, the tree might die, but most of times the tree still survives. What a sign to point out to your guests out in the bush. Tracking signs is quite interesting. You can tell what kind of animal has been there quite recently. This is absolutely amazing. So when interpreting animal tracks and signs, we actually use different sort of sense. So you use sense of touch, smell, hearing, and maybe taste, if it's possible. Over here, we have come across a certain animal dung. We have two types of dungs over there, and then I have that one tiny little one. So here it shows that the presence wildebeests were here 1 hour and a half ago, because the dung is quite pretty fresh. It's quite shiny and it's also very heavy. If you come across a wildebeest dung that is not fresh, it's quite very light, and also it's more brown in color. These ones here are still very dark and very shiny, so we can say maybe 1 hour and a half ago there were lots of wildebeest in this particular area. The dungs are quite scattered in different areas. But how do we know this one is not wildebeest? Is because of how it is, okay? The wildebeest dung is more like pellets that are clustered together, all in a certain compact shape. So when they drop, they actually drop it like this, all of it. But we know this one here is not a wildebeest but an impala, because of how small that pellet is. Impalas, when they defecate, they kind of drop one pellet after another, like that. But wildebeest will drop several of these, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them, as here there's one here, this is the second one, and this one here is actually the third one. That's how you can know this one is wildebeest, and the impala ones are right here. When they've been dropped, they're actually being dropped one by one down like that. That's how actually you can tell what kind of animal has been in that particular area. And sometimes these tracks and signs, they can actually tell you if that animal is still around. What an amazing way of actually telling the presence of animals in a certain area if you have not actually seen them.